Yay, I'm live. At least I hope I'm live. I am actually using a different streaming platform. So I'm not live in the YouTube studio. I'm using a platform called StreamYard. So hopefully you guys can see me okay. And hopefully the live is working properly. I'll give it a couple of seconds, see if anybody's going to join me before I kick off today's live. So yeah, if you are joining me for the first time, or not even first time to be fair, if you're a returning subscriber joining me, definitely say hi in the comment section, because I think I can still see it in this platform in which I'm using. And yeah, it's the end of the month. We've got a couple more days to we jump into November. And I thought it would be really good on today's live to kind of do a budget recap video. So if you've been on my channel for any length of time, you'll know that I do these budget recap videos on a regular basis. So every single month, I do a budget walkthrough at the start of the month. And then at the end of the month, I kind of recap how things went. So what I wanted to do basically in today's video is kind of do a budget recap and kind of do it live, as opposed to pre-record it and edit it and then it comes out like a week into the new month. I thought it'd be good to kind of get it out before the new month starts. Sorry if I'm looking in random places. It's because, yeah, if you can see my screen set up right now, it's a bit wild and I can't really see where I'm supposed to be looking, but we're trying to do new things, you know, trying to level up, trying to experiment. So hopefully it works out okay. And yeah, when I play this video back at the end of the live, it works well and you're able to kind of follow along with my numbers. I'm going to try a new thing where I share my screen. So I'm going to literally upload my budget recap or my October budget, and then we'll kind of talk through the numbers. September, if you knew anything about my September budget, listen, that was a hot mess. As in September budget, I think I went over by like £500. I've linked it in the description box, so you can go and watch that afterwards and kind of see how it went to pot and why it was so bad and so terrible. And I was like, no, October, we're doing better. We're going to be really disciplined and stick to our numbers and make sure we have a really good month and really end the month well. And I was, yeah, really determined to make sure October was not like a repeat of the month of September. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen. Fingers crossed, pray for me, guys, that this all works out. I did a few test runs before going live and it works then, but yeah, who knows? When you go live, it's a whole nother story, isn't it? But hopefully it goes well. Let me know in the comment section below where you guys are joining me from. What city, what country, what time zone you're in. It'll just be good to kind of have that chat, and I'll realize that I'm definitely not talking to myself. There's somebody else here and the live has worked as it's supposed to, because like I mentioned at the beginning, the live basically is, at the moment I'm live, but I'm using a streaming platform as opposed to live directly in YouTube Studio. So yeah, this is the first time. Hopefully it works well. I can see a few of you are in here now, so I'm not alone. So it must have worked. Let me know if you can see me on the screen and it hasn't like, it's not showing a black screen or anything like that. Oh, yay. Oh, hey, Budget with a July Dreamer. You made it. Good stuff. Thank you for tuning in. Hannah Bunny from, oh, I said HB. Look at me exposing your name. Sorry, H. From London, UK. No, good. Thanks for joining me. Okay, cool. So I'm going to try and share my screen with you guys now. And then you could tell me if you can actually see the screen. Hopefully it works. Yeah. Yeah, it should be fine. It's looking good. Hold on. So click window. Din, din, din. Okay, I think that's worked. Let me know if you can see my screen. Hey, Sherry, thanks for joining me. Can you see my screen okay? Let me know if you can see, and if you can see the numbers. It looks very small on my screen, actually. Let me see if there's a way I can expand this. Hold on. Is that any better? Okay, now that's taking me off completely. Oh, no, it's gone again. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. Okay, cool. I think we can work with this, yeah? Brilliant. Thank you. Yay, you can see it. Superb. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do now is jump into my numbers. So I'm going to basically talk to you guys about how the month went. So if this is your first time watching one of these budgeting videos, this is literally my budget tracker that I use to track my budget on a monthly basis. So yeah, this tracker is available actually if you want to grab your own copy via the link in the description box below. It's one that I created, and that's why it's what I use to manage my family finances. So basically, this is the October budget. I'm going to be running through the numbers. What you have here, oh, this is so good actually, because you can see where I click. When you pre-record it, you can't actually see where you click. So now you can see everything properly. So let's start off with the opening balance. So the month of October, yeah, it started off really bad. The money from September was over by 538. So what that basically means is that in the month of the month of October, when we did our budget, we had to deduct that £538 before we could even spend the rest of our income for that month. So that's why it's so important when you're using this method of budgeting to kind of stick to your numbers, because yeah, you end up having to pay for the sins of the previous month, which is what we did in the month of October, meaning that we started the month on a minus 500 figure, which was not good at all. And it's not going to happen again, hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, moving on, we've got income. So at the moment, we kind of blacked out for privacy reasons, just because, yeah, husband's not too comfortable putting the numbers out there, which is totally fine. So income, we've got there. And then the total is basically our opening balance minus the income that we have available is the money we then have left to allocate to our different spending categories. So that's literally what we do on a monthly basis. And then estimated is what I plan to spend, and then actuals is what we actually end up spending. So if we start off with groceries, yeah, if you've watched my budget videos before, you'll know that groceries is the one area that we always struggle with and we always go over. And one thing I'm planning to do in November, which you'll see in that November video when it comes out in a few days, my plan is to look at our spend for the year so far. So how much we spent on groceries from January to October, and then basically average that out, and that's going to be our food budget moving forward, because enough is enough. All of this trying to budget £200 and then only spend it, and then spending £250 every single month, it just doesn't make sense. Let's just be realistic with this budget based on what we've been spending previously. And I'm going to basically apply that same principle to all our different spending categories, so not just the food, but other variable expenses like we've got takeaways, petrol, etc. And that's the plan that I'm going to apply in the month of November. But anyway, back to the numbers here. So we've got groceries estimated 200. We ended up spending £228. So we went over by £28, which actually, even though we've gone over, considering when we set up the budget and I did the walkthrough, I think like 2 weeks into the month, we had spent like £157 of the budget. So to only spend, my maths is not great, I think like £70 for the remainder of the month is not the worst thing in the world, in all honesty. So I was actually all right with that. And then if we go on to takeaways, we'll see that we actually came in under budget for takeaways for once, which was good. So we came in at £90.41p. And then lunch, we came in at, even under budget for that as well. So we budgeted £40 and we ended up spending £14.40p. Most of that was me going to Costa. So yeah, overall, actually, if we look at our grocery budget, we budgeted 340 and then we ended up actually spending under budget £332.85p, which was really good considering obviously groceries was over. I think the other categories kind of saved us because we didn't go over in those ones. But like I said, moving forward, we're going to kind of plan ahead a bit better, and hopefully we'll be a lot more tighter with our numbers moving forward. So then if we move on to mortgage, our mortgage is the same price every single month. It's £1,057.21p. And one thing that we like to do on a monthly basis is overpay our mortgage. So mortgage overpayment at the moment is, hold on one second. What I'm going to do, sorry, I'm just pausing for a sec because I realize I can't actually see the comments. So yeah, now I've moved across and now I can see what you guys are saying, if you're saying anything alongside me going through the numbers. So yeah, that's great. Numbers are small. Oh no, so you can't see it. Let me zoom in. You see, good thing I just thought, let me check the comment section. Okay, let's zoom in because that's not helpful if you can't actually see the numbers that I'm talking about. Is that better? Let me know. Thumbs up if you can actually see the numbers. Thumbs up, let me know. I can go bigger if need be. Yeah, I'll continue. I'll continue. Cool. Okay. So that was the food category. Better. Okay, brilliant. Good. So now we move on to home. Sorry, I've moved on to home already. So yeah, £1,057 was the budget. And then mortgage overpayment was £100. And mortgage overpayment is something we like to do on a monthly basis. I remember about a year ago, this time last year, we was overpaying by like a lot more than £100. But we've kind of since then changed our approach and our strategy. And as much as we do want to still pay off the mortgage early, we don't want to, or should I say, we want to prioritize investing more than paying down the mortgage, which is why a lot more of our money is going now towards investing as opposed to the overpayments. But we still do want to overpay it, which is why you can see we've overpaid by £100. And then council tax is £140. And for my non-UK subscribers, actually, because I know like quite a lot of my audience is actually US based, but council tax is basically a tax that we pay to the government for or to our local council, sorry, for like maintenance of the area, taking our bins, etc. So we have to pay that on a monthly basis, and the price that you pay kind of varies depending on what region you live in and the size of your property and stuff like that. So yeah, at the moment we pay £140 a month for council tax, and that does go up once a year. And so then move on to the total for the home category. And that's one category that every single month is the same month in, month out. So it's £1,297, how much we budgeted, and that's exactly how much we paid. So home category is the way, it's like the, how can I say it? This is what we aspire to have for every single budget category. What you estimate and what you actually spend should be like literally the same. But I guess life isn't perfect like that. Things don't always go according to plan. In fact, actually, I've got a couple of stories to tell you just on that topic of things not going to plan from the month of October. Because I remember my September video saying that, oh no, there's like September was such a bad month that it possibly, or should I say it couldn't possibly get any worse in the month of October. But be careful what you say, because yeah, it got worse in the month of October, but I'll tell you about that later on in the budget. So if we just move on to utilities and we look at water. So water, we budget water, electricity and gas is the same every month, near enough. So £50 for the water bill, £40 for electricity and £70 for gas. That's how much we estimated, and that's how much we paid. Giving is something that we do like to do on a monthly basis. We're Christians, so we do believe in tithing. So we like to pay our tithes, and we also like to do other charitable giving as well. But I just, yeah, don't like to disclose the exact amounts because I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. So yeah, we blacked that out at the moment on the budget. And then moving on to subscriptions, and there's a little bit of a change here actually, which I'll talk to you about in a sec. So TV license, that was budgeted at £13.43, and yeah, it came in slightly under budget. I feel like this is the same price that it was last month as well, so maybe I need to change it for the November budget to the actual £13.37, so that it's bang on the money. Mobile phone bill, my husband's and mine, so his is £36.19 and mine is £40 a month. And his one is a better deal because he has a mobile phone contract and Spotify for less than I have my mobile phone and my insurance. But I guess, to be fair, I have insurance and he doesn't. But that's because me and phones, I don't know what it is, but it just never works out very well. Like if I show you my phone now, it's got a crack in the screen. My phones always break. Something always happens to them. So insurance is very important for me. So yeah, I need to have my phone insured, which is why my bill's slightly higher than his, and I get, I guess, less for my money. Internet, now this is an interesting one. So this is £33 that I budgeted, and it ended up coming at £28. And I know for the last couple of months it was £33. I thought, okay, that means the price has gone up. But anyway, I spoke to my husband, and that wasn't the case. That was just because he had paid for an internet booster, but the actual normal price is £28. So that's why we came in £5 under budget, which is always nice. Any extra money is always a good thing, so I'm not going to complain about that. And then we've got Canva, and that came in at £9.81, and the budget was £10. And now, again, if you watch my budgeting videos before, you'll know that, of course, Canva is paid in US dollars, and depending on the exchange rate, that price kind of fluctuates. But for the past year or so, it's been no less, it hasn't been over, sorry, £10, which is why I always budget £10, and then it's usually a few pennies under, which is always nice. Any penny saved is always a good thing. I'm not going to complain there. So that was that. And then just the last one, yeah. This is an additional expense that has now come on the subscription. This is my husband's expense. It's Adobe Creative Cloud, and that's to do with his animation and creative stuff that he does. It's a subscription that you pay monthly, and it kind of gives you access to Photoshop, Illustrator, all these other Adobe packages that are really, really good and really help with him. And it can help me as well, because they've got a video editing software within there as well that I can use for my video editing. At the moment, I use the app called LumaFusion, and it's an iPad app, but it's not the best app when you're on the actual computer. So on the Mac, it's not the best thing to use. You're better off using Adobe. So yeah, we've got that now, and we're going to both be using it. So that's why it's on the budget now as a monthly expense. But he paid for it mid-month after we had done the budget, which is why it wasn't in the estimated, but it ended up being in the actuals, which meant that we went over on the subscriptions category by that £39.95. In fact, no, it was slightly under because of that £5 saving from the internet. So overall, that category came in over budget by £34.70. And so, yeah, let's move on to the next category. So we've got transport. Okay, so this is where the story time comes. So transport, we budgeted £70, and we actually came in, sorry, for petrol, we budgeted £70 and we actually came in under budget, £61.64. We only actually filled up the tank once and we still have probably about half a tank of petrol left now. And I'll tell you why that is. It's because for about half of the month, we didn't actually have a car. We weren't driving. And that's because my car decided that it wanted to break down when we were on our way out. So we're literally driving down the road, minding our business, and we was actually on our way to a church event that I was supposed to be hosting. So it was really bad timing that the car decided at that moment that the clutch wanted to go. So the clutch just literally stopped working and the car just literally stopped in the middle of a crossroad. Like, you just couldn't have timed it any worse. It was really, really bad and really embarrassing. And yeah, that was it. The clutch was gone, completely burnt out. So we needed a new clutch. The car, you can't drive the car without the clutch. So yeah, for an expense that we hadn't planned for, that was a really big one, because the new clutch ended up costing like £430 plus labor, an additional like 320. So excuse me, an additional 320. So all in all, it was like £800 that we had to pay for this car expense. Now, if you're looking at the transport category, you're thinking, but I can't see an additional £800 there. This is the beauty of an emergency fund, guys. And this is why I always talk about having an emergency fund and the importance of kind of building one. Because we had an emergency fund in place, we was able to kind of dip into that to then cover that cost to get the car repaired. But if we didn't have that emergency fund, then of course, I don't think it could have even come out of the budget, because there's no spare £800 like that. So we probably would have had to put it on a credit card or go into our overdraft or do something to kind of get that money. But thankfully, we had that emergency fund in place. So we was able to kind of dip into that to pay for the clutch. It was still a big inconvenience, let me not lie, because not having a car for like 2 weeks was not fun. Doing that school run with the boys, like walking to and back from that school, when we're used to like driving every morning, just was not great at all. To be fair, it's like a 15-minute walk, but 15-minute walk with 3 young boys in the morning is just not ideal, because they're so used to being in the car as well. I think I've kind of spoiled them to an extent. So like, I don't want to walk. I was like, we actually have no choice. Like, that's the only way you're going to get to school. You're going to have to use your legs and walk. But yeah, so we didn't have a car for like 2 weeks, while it was getting repaired. But that's why we didn't actually end up needing to use the petrol. So even though we had filled up the tank, we literally still have like half a tank left. So that was the good savings that we had, I guess. But at the same time, it meant that we spent more on train, bus, and cab. So usually this category just says train, but because in the month of October, we also got the bus a couple of times and had to take a cab. Uber is not cheap anymore, guys. Oh my gosh. I think it's been like 3 years probably since I've last taken an Uber. So I was very shocked at the price of one taxi ride. Like literally, it felt like up the road. It was like a 20-minute. No, not even 20 minutes, maybe like a 15-minute drive. And yeah, Uber wanted to charge us like £25 for that journey. And I was like, wow, this is serious. Seriously expensive. So I don't understand how people are like taking Ubers every day here and there, because that one taxi ride was enough for me to say, I'm not doing this again. I'll just take the train. And yeah, that's what we kind of had to do for those 2 weeks. Either walk to where we were going or get the train or the bus. Because yeah, that taxi, we did it once and I was like, no, I'm not about this life. So I had to return to the bus. But yeah, so moving on. Yeah, so that was train, bus, and cab. And then moving on to parking, we budgeted £15. But as I just explained, we didn't have a car for most of the month, so we weren't really parking anywhere. The car was just at the mechanics for most of it. So we did actually have to pay to park anywhere. Oh, car wash, guys, listen. Those car wash people, yeah, I don't understand. I haven't been to the car wash since, I think August was the last time I went. So I hadn't gone in September. And then I was like, no, this car actually is filthy. It needs to be washed. Okay, fine. Took it to the car wash. The one I usually go to was closed down. But then on their gate, they had a notice that said, you know, we've got a sister company or like another branch basically down the road. So just go there. So anyway, took myself there to the other one. It was literally like 3 minutes down the road. Got there. The guy washed the car. Finished. Time to pay. How much for the car wash? £20. The guy told me. I was just like, what? 20 what? I said, no, it can't be £20. And he was like, no, it's £20. I was like, no, but it can't be. It was £16 the last time I was here. And even then it had gone up from £10 or from 15 and then from 10. I was like, no, it can't be £20. I said, okay, fine, just give me £16 then. I said, okay, so that's it now. No more car washes for me, because £20, I remember saying it before, that's my cut-off point. That's the point of no return for me. I cannot be paying £20 to wash my car, the car that stays clean for about 2 days before the boys start their nonsense, and yeah, the car's a mess again. So I was like, yeah, no more of that. No more car washes for us. £20. The way my heart sank when the guy told me £20, I just could not believe it. I was like, So you're going to take this whole £20 note from me? Is this what you're saying to me? And he was just like, okay, fine, just take the 16. So I'm like, were you just chancing it? Just trying your luck to see how much money you could take from me? Or is this the actual price? Because it just didn't make sense. He was so quick to be like, okay, fine, just pay £16. But yeah, £20 is too much. It was £10 not even a year ago. So how is it double the price a year later? It is absolutely insane. But yeah, so no more car washes for me. £16. I think the next time I go there, he's probably not going to have it when I try and complain, and it will probably be £20. So now that's hubby's job, and the boys, they can wash that car because yeah, I cannot be paying £20 to wash my car. It's never that serious. So then we move on to sorry, I just had to take a sip of my tea. Yeah, fun and entertainment. Okay, actually, let me just quickly recap. So yeah, 131 was the budget, and we spent 133.87. So that was £2.87 above budget, over budget, sorry. And then moving on to fun and entertainment. So with the fun and entertainment allowances or allocations, every month we kind of, whatever we allocate is what kind of goes to the different pots. So everybody gets their money to do what they like with. So you'll see the estimated and then the actuals are exactly the same, and that's because the money just goes, and then if you spend it, you spend it. If you save it, whatever you do with it is your business, basically. So 150 was my allowance and my husband's, and then the boys got £75 each, and that money kind of went to the different pots. So that's always the same, what we estimate and what we actually spend. So that's, yeah, the same each month. No, the amount isn't the same, sorry, each month. The amount actually varies depending on how much money we have left over. That's how we then decide how much fun allowance and everything else that everyone gets. So, excuse me. So then moving on to insurance, and life insurance was £58.95. So that's £1 under budget. Parents insurance, I know I mentioned that in the previous video that my husband's parents were actually paying their own insurance, so that's actually going to come off the budget next month. So that was a £30 saving there because we had allocated the money, but we didn't end up having to use it. So that meant that we came in under budget in that category by £31.05, which was good. And then if we move on to childcare, nursery for my youngest son, £416. That's the same price every single month, which is all good. Moving on to miscellaneous, and for once there was no miscellaneous expenses. I guess you could say the car breaking down was definitely a miscellaneous expense, but like I mentioned before, that obviously was paid for out of the emergency fund, which is why it's not reflected in the budget. And what that basically means is we are £800 down on our emergency fund, and we just need to kind of ramp that up so that we can get back to the 6-month emergency fund. And so then moving on, we've got the tax bill, which we've got 3 more payments. Well, November, December, so 2 more payments of that left. But yeah, October was the third to last. Can you even say that? Yeah, October's payment was £91.12, and that went as planned. And then we've got savings. Yeah, so because of the overspend last month and all the expenses that we had, we didn't have that much money left over to put as much as we would like to our sinking funds and emergency funds. But we did put £100 in sinking funds and £100 in the emergency fund as well. And sinking funds, just in case you're not familiar with them, it's just literally savings pots. So like short-term savings for things like Christmas, birthdays, I'm about to say Halloween, so random because it's Halloween on Sunday. But yeah, Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, I don't know, a new car, those kind of things you'd put in sinking funds. And an emergency fund is obviously for emergencies like what happened the other day where my clutch went. So that was £200 that we put into that pot. And then investing, that was like a low amount, £100 we put into our Vanguard account. And that takes us to the end of our budget. So we ended up spending, I'd like for you to have a guess actually, how much do you think we went over our budget or were under budget in the month of October? Because I'm pleased to report, guys, I'm so proud of myself, we came in under budget by 63p. Yay! I'm so pleased with myself. Listen, after what happened last month, I was like, there is absolutely no way I'm coming on YouTube to tell these people that I've overspent by £500 again or any hundreds of pounds again, because it's just not good. It's not good. So what I'll actually do, which I don't tend to do in my videos, actually, I say actually a lot, and I'm so sorry about that. I really try to consciously not say it, but the more I try and consciously not say it, the more I say it. So yeah. What I don't tend to do is, show you the breakdown. So here we can kind of see basically, thank you, HB, thank you, Budget of a July Dream. I know I'm well proud of myself too. Like, God, after last month, I was like, no, it's not happening anymore. We need to take this budget thing seriously and actually stick to numbers. So yes, this is going to be how it's going to be from now on. Moving forward, we're going to be sticking to our numbers and being good examples. So yeah. Food, you could just see the breakdown here basically. So you've got food, how much we budgeted was 340, and overall for that category we came in under by what, £8. Home, that was bang on the money. Utilities, bang on the money. Subscriptions was over by about £35. Transport, over by about £2. Fun and entertainment was exactly the same. Insurance was what kind of saved us because of not paying the parents' insurance. We saved £58 in that category. No, sorry, that's a lie. We saved £30 in that category. And then childcare, that was the same as budgeted, and then debt, saving and investment was the same. And then these graphs kind of just show you side by side. That's basically a visual representation of the table that I just showed you above. But what's also interesting is these little pie charts I like, because it kind of shows you the percentage distribution for the different categories. So this first one says how much we've estimated we're going to spend in different categories. And then the second one kind of goes into details of the actual amounts we spent. So if we just quickly try and see if I can put them side by side. Hold on. No, let me not mess this thing up. Okay, I'll just go through the estimated first and then do the actual. So you can just see straight away our biggest expense was home. So our home actually makes up 32.5% of our income, which is really high actually. And we should probably try and aim for 25%, but that means we basically need to get our income up because we can't get our expenses down. So yeah, because our expenses are pretty tight as it is, to be honest. Then the second biggest category was fun and entertainment. Yeah, fun and entertainment was the second biggest category with 13%, and then giving was the third biggest category. But yeah, and then we've got the estimated as well. So you've got food, home, utilities, giving, subscriptions, transport, and then yeah, you can just see the percentages there. But yeah, so that's literally the breakdown of the numbers. So what I wanted to, yeah, that's literally it. So that's literally my budget recap and how we got on. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Oh, I can unshare my screen now, isn't it? Yeah, let me see if this works. Stop sharing screen. Dun, dun, dun. Yay! And it's just back to me now. Cool. So yeah, that was literally my October, budget recap video. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought of this format. Let me know if this works for you, if you prefer the kind of pre-recorded and pre-edited budget recap, or the sit down and we just kind of go through the numbers together like we've just done today. Let me know. I actually didn't mind this way of doing it. Initially I wasn't really up for it because I was like, I don't want to be stuttering all over YouTube and stuff, but yeah, I think it went okay. I hope so. Anyway, you can let me know after the live in the comment section below what you think. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. That was literally all I wanted to do on today's live, was a quick budget recap, kind of show you how I got on with my numbers in the month of October, and my November budget will be out within the next few days. And then yeah, you can kind of see my spending plan for the month of November, taking into consideration my averages for the different months. So like I was saying before about the fact that we don't want to just keep saying £200 food budget when the numbers are saying something totally different. We want to be more accurate with our forecasting and budgeting. I think that will kind of just help us overall. Oh, do you? Okay, thank you. You prefer this budget? Do you prefer this format? Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, budget with a July dreamer. Okay, cool. Thank you. So yeah, maybe I might do these more often. And these are, to be fair, I guess easier because there's no editing. But because there's no editing, I don't like it. I don't like the fact that I can't like control what I'm putting out, kind of thing. But well, if you guys like it, then yeah, I might do more of these. Maybe I can even do the budget walkthrough live as well. That'd be interesting. Actually do a like budget with me setting up the numbers. Although that will take a lot longer than, how long has this been? 28 minutes. That takes a lot longer because deciding how much to allocate to the different categories sometimes takes a bit of time, like saying no. Because yeah, sometimes what I want versus what hubby wants is different. So it's like trying to compromise on where we're allocating the money each month. It's great fun, to be honest, but it can be time consuming at the same time. Oh, no worries, Deandra. It's going to be on replay so you can watch it. Dee said, sad I missed it. No, it's all good. You can catch the replay and yeah, see me rambling along about my budget numbers for the month of October, yeah, you can definitely catch the replay. But yeah, hope you guys are gonna, I hope you see what I'm talking about when you can't pre-record these things. If I was editing now, I could just chop out this bit. But anyway, I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing weekend. Like, yeah, have a nice one. Have a nice weekend. And I will see you guys soon for another video. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been fun. And I will see you guys soon. Let's see how you end this thing now. I hope this thing works. Anyway, ciao.